Hey Tim, I'm gonna enjoy some cake that conveniently represents the earnings of our public company. Hey, I'm Homer. I gave y'all some money for that cake. Could I have some? Hey Homer, there's some that just dropped to the floor. You could have that, and we'll give you some every quarter. How's that sound? This is dividends. When a public company decides they have a strong enough cash flow and would like more investors to join them, often they will add a dividend payout. The amount that is paid out is called the dividend yield. For example, Company X costs $100 a share. For each share they have, they pay out 3% in a dividend. Most often, the dividend is paid out once a quarter, granting the shareholder 75 cents each quarter, adding up to $3 per share. A lot of investors look at dividends as a metric to pick healthy stocks because the company is able to handle giving away some of their profits to shareholders. The easiest way to determine if the company is healthy enough to pay out the dividend is to look at their dividend payout ratio. You find this by dividing the yearly dividend per share by the earnings per share, or the EPS. If the ratio is too high, a company might not be able to sustain itself, so it's best to look for companies with below a 50% ratio. Most companies fall between 1 to 4% for their yield, but there are a few outliers. If you go look at the degens on Wall Street Bets, you will quickly find out that dividends are only for the old people who have zero tolerance for risk. This is not true, but it's never wise to listen to 19-year-olds that just gambled their college tuition loan on a short call for GameStop. So why are dividends viewed as a risk-adverse trading option? To understand the dividend investor, let's look at old rich people. My dad loves dividend stocks more than he loves his children. For most of his life, the man has been letting his dividends drip. A DRIP is a dividend reinvestment plan, meaning that each quarter your stocks pay you a dividend. That amount is directly turned around and buys up more shares of itself. This innately lowers the fears that come with investing because if the market drops, the dividend simply has more buying power, as long as the company is able to maintain their dividend payout. Taking Company X from before, let's say you have 100 shares, all at $100 per share. You would be earning $300 a year. So without directly buying any more shares of Company X, each year your DRIP will buy 3 extra shares. But let's say Company X drops to $90 a share for 1 year. That down year you will have purchased 3.33 shares. But Homer, that sounds good if the price drops a little, but wouldn't it be bad if the share price increases? Wouldn't that mean the DRIP buys fewer shares? Yes, you beautiful idiot. But that's where appreciation makes your money too. Like any other type of stock, you hope your share price increases over the years of investment. So if Company X cost $100 a share when you bought it, but in 5 years it's $150 a share, with that same 100 shares from before, purchasing around 3 extra shares a year, your total position would now be $22,050, up from the initial $10,000 investment. Also, a healthy company will often increase their dividend yield each year to maintain their shareholders' interest in the company. This allows dividend shares to compound in crazy ways. The ultimate goal for most dividend investors is to be able to live off their dividends. To do this, once your portfolio is large enough, you can turn off the DRIP and take those dividend payouts in the form of cash to your bank account. Using the 3% yield from Company X, let's say you need $70,000 each year to cover all your living expenses. To earn that purely through dividends, you would need $2,350,000 all invested in Company X. While that is a ton of money, the number would be lower if your expenses dropped, but that also assumed that you would never touch the $2.35 million, meaning you would have $70,000 for the rest of your life and die with that $2.3 million. I use Fidelity to do all my investing because I'm not a degen that needs a little explosion each time I make a trade. In Fidelity or in any other brokerage app, you can sift through all the stocks in exchange through a screen. I set my screen to show a dividend yield up to 4% and a ratio under 45%. Then I look through all the options and evaluate the companies based on their market cap, debt, and a lot of other things we will discuss in future videos. So if you too want to die with $2.3 million in your bank account and living a pretty comfortable life, go buy dividend stocks. Also subscribe so I too can buy more dividend stocks.